Dear students, in the last class we have discussed about the summation and the subtraction of the vectors. Today we will discuss the resolution of vectors and as well the unit vectors. First of all, the resolution of the vectors. Actually, in the resolution of the vector, you will be defining a vector, say vector capital A, in terms of small two vectors, vector small a and vector small b. Okay, and the summation of these vectors small a and small b, which are multiplied by appropriate scalar quantities. In such a way, their sum, that is, suppose the lambda is the quantity or the scalar quantity or the number which we are using to multiply with the vector small a. So lambda into small a is equal to lambda into small a is equal to the magnitude. Whenever you are, we have already studied that whenever you are multiplying a scalar quantity with a vector, then the magnitude of that vector will change by the fraction with which, by a fraction of number with which you are multiplying that a vector. So lambda into vector a as well. The vector b is multiplied with another constant value, that is mu into vector b. So the mu and lambda should be selected in such a way lambda vector a plus mu vector b should be the resultant vector, that is the a. That is, vector a should be equal to lambda a plus mu b. So here in the diagram you can see the two vectors a and b, and when you have multiplied the lambda with the a, its direction is still same, but you can see the magnitude is changed, its length is changed. As well, whenever the mu is multiplied with the vector b, their direction, both the mu b and b, both are in the same direction. Okay, but the magnitude is changed, and the sum of this one, the head of lambda a, it's a triangular method of vector addition. You can see that from the figure itself. So head of the lambda a is connected with the tail of the mu b. So, and from the tail of lambda a, one line it is connected to the head of mu b, and which is named as a. So the OP is the resultant of the sum of lambda a and mu b. Okay, so lambda a plus mu b is equal to vector a. So here we have expressed the vector a as the sum of two vectors. One is obtained by multiplying the scalar quantity or the number lambda with small a, and another one obtained by multiplying the vector b with the scalar quantity mu. and sum of this lambda a and mu b is a new vector A. So here the small a and small b vectors are, you can say, the fractions of the capital A. The fractional vectors of capital A are here in this case vector A and vector B. When you have multiplied the vector A small a and vector small b with a particular or appropriate constant values, and when you have taken the sum of this constant value multiplied vectors, you can obtain the capital A as the resultant. So we can say here A has been resolved into two component vectors or the factor vectors, which are lambda A and mu B, along A and B respectively, along the direction of A and B, because here you are multiplying it with only a scalar quantity, or we can say a constant value, so the direction will be remain as it is, but the magnitude will change. So now we will discuss the resolution of the vector or the resolving of the vectors we have seen. That means a large vector may be a vector which will be expressed in the form of the factorized vectors, small vectors, that we have discussed, that here the capital A was resolved in the form of lambda A and mu B, where lambda and mu are the scalar quantities, A and B we can say factors of the capital A. In general case, we can say the vectors along the axis of the coordinate rectangular coordinate system x, y, z. So in that one also we will consider the vectors of unit magnitude for x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and which are expressed as I cap, k cap and I cap, j cap and k cap. I cap for x-axis, j cap for y-axis and k cap for z-axis, and these are the unit vectors. In the direction, I cap is in the direction of positive x-axis, j cap is in the direction of positive y cap, and k cap is in the direction of positive z-axis. If you are going for the negative x-axis, then it will be minus I cap. Okay, so we will discuss these things in detail now. So this is an important definition. So if in the examination, if it is asked to define the unit vectors, you have to write this one. A unit vector is a vector of unit magnitude. That means the magnitude will be 1. Unit magnitude means magnitude will be 1, and points in a particular direction. Okay, and it points in a particular direction. Maybe suppose if you are considering a unit vector in the x-axis, then it will be moving, or it will be directing in the x direction. As well in y-axis, positive y direction, z-axis, positive z direction. So they are having the appropriate particular names also, that we will see. So these unit vectors will not having any dimension. There is no dimension and unit. Actually, these unit vectors, their function is to specify or define the direction. That is the actual purpose of the unit vectors. There will be the magnitude will be always same, that is 1, but the change will be there in the direction. Actually, the unit vectors are specifying the direction to us. Now the unit vectors. So in the coordinate system, the rectangular coordinate system, we are using the unit vectors. So as you know, the axis there in the rectangular vector system are x, y and z. So in the x, y and z, the unit vectors will be expressed or defined as, in x-axis the unit vector will be small I कैप. द आई के ऊपर एक कैप भी आ जाएगा, आई कैप. ओके. as well in the case of y axis that will be a j cap, and in the case of z axis that will be a k cap. The cap, the bold letter with the cap, which is known as, in the printed form, the bold letter with the cap is known as the unit vectors. In the x axis or in the direction of x axis, that will be I cap, the unit vector will be I cap. In the y axis that will be j cap, and in the z axis that will be k cap. Okay, suppose if you are considering the negative x axis, then it will be minus I cap. Okay, you have to put the negative sign if you are considering the negative axis of the coordinate system. So these are regarding the unit vectors. Now let us come. We already seen that the magnitude of the unit vector will be always equal to 1. So here the magnitude of I cap is the unit vector and its magnitude, which will be is equal to magnitude of j cap, and which is equal to magnitude of k cap, and that will be is equal to 1. That is why they are known as the unit vectors. Suppose if you are multiplying, in the last case, in the example, you know that the capital A, vector capital A, is resolved into small a and small b vectors, but you have multiplied the small a with an integer, you can say like that, a constant value, said the lambda, and as well the b was multiplied with the mu. The same way, if you want to define a larger vector in, suppose in x direction, if you are considering, then you have to find out the magnitude of that vector in the x direction first of all, and if you are multiplying that magnitude with the I cap, you can resolve that large vector into the unit vector in terms of the unit vector I cap in the x direction. As well, if you are multiplying a unit vector, say n cap, where n cap define I cap, k cap and j cap, any of it, that maybe it can be I cap, maybe j cap, or maybe k cap. So the unit vector n cap is multiplied with a scalar quantity, so the result should be always a vector. So where the small lambda into n cap, it is given the small lambda into n cap, that is equal to vector lambda. So if in general, if you are considering a vector A you are considering, and that means the vector A, suppose if it is in the y direction, so the unit vector will be in j cap into the magnitude of vector A, that will be actually the vector A. Magnitude of vector A can be defined as, or can be expressed as A, which can be represented as A j cap will be the vector A. Okay, as you know, the vector A is in the y direction. Okay, suppose vector A is in x direction, then it will be A vector A I cap. Okay, vector A I cap will be there, and A I cap. in the I direction, sorry, in the x direction. It is the x direction vector A. So vector A can be defined as the modulus of vector A into I cap. Okay. So a unit vector is a vector with a unit magnitude and which is defining a particular, specifying a particular direction. Now let us come to the next slide. In this one, the rectangular coordinate system is expressed or given, represented. So we have already seen that one, the x, y and z, sorry, x, y and z coordinates. There unit vectors are I, capital I, sorry, small I cap, small I cap, small j cap and small k cap respectively. For x axis I cap, y axis j cap and z axis k cap. Simply suppose the I cap is the unit vector, that is for a unit length the value of the vector will be I cap. Suppose one vector it is given as a capital A. Its magnitude is considered 3. Modulus of capital A is 3. That means one vector is I cap. Likewise 3 vectors are joined. Okay. One fraction it is I cap. Likewise 3 fractions are there. So you have to take the, or you have to multiply this 3 with the unit vector's value. Unit vector's value means for one fraction. So already 3 fractions, one fraction's value it is I cap in vector. Okay. So 3 I cap will be here the vector A, as the magnitude of the vector A it is 3. Now here a vector A is given and 2 fractions of A as A1 and A2, where A1 is in the x-axis and A2 is there in the y-axis. Both are vectors A1 and A2. So as A1 is there in the x-axis, you can define the A1 as A1 is equal to Ax into I cap, where Ax is a constant value, or we can say the magnitude of A1, vector A1. So Ax into I cap, and the A2 is represented as Ay into j cap. Okay. So that means if a vector A is given, that means the magnitude of vector A into, suppose in y direction, that means j cap. The same here, that is here the vector is A1, the magnitude of vector A1 it is Ax. So Ax into I cap will be is equal to A1 as well. A2 is equal to Ay into j cap. Okay. So you are rewriting the A2 as Ay into j cap and A1 as Ax I cap. Now here vector A1 and A2 are such that A1 plus A2, vector A1 plus vector A2 will be is equal to the A, parallelogram law of vector addition. Okay. The diagonal of the parallelogram will be the resultant vector if the sides are the individual, or the vectors which you are going to take the sum. So the sum of the vectors on the side of the parallelogram will be equal to the length of the diagonal of the parallelogram. So A1 plus A2, vector A1 plus A2 is equal to capital A. So in another words, Ay j cap plus ax I cap is equal to a. So this much is written here. A is equal to ax I cap plus a by j cap. And in the 4.9, if you are referring the 4.9, figure number 4.9, you can see that it is represented very clearly, where ax and ay are called x and y components of the vector A. Ax and ay. What did they called? The components of the x and y components of the vector A. Where ax, suppose if you are considering the ax only, it is not a bold one. So such ax value will be a constant, that is the magnitude of ax, and the vector will be always ax I cap, and in y direction that will be is equal to ay j cap. Suppose we are considering as a vector, but simply ax is the magnitude of the vector ax I cap, we can say like that. Now the important portion, you are having the sides and the resultant vector. If the resultant vector is making an angle theta with the x-axis, then the x-axis coordinates value will be is equal to a cos theta. As well, the opposite direction will be is equal to, it is ay. Ay is equal to a sin theta. That you have to remember. A cos theta is the adjacent side of the angle, and a sin theta is the opposite side of the angle. Now we will discuss some more things. So now you are having the ax as a cos theta and ay as a sin theta. Suppose if you are taking the square on both sides, ax square plus ay square, that means a square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta. And now you have to add, that is ax square plus ay square, ax square plus a y square if you are doing, then which will give you a square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta. In both the cases a square is there, so I am taking the a square outside. The cos square theta plus sin square theta. Cos square theta plus sin square theta is an identity of the trigonometric operation. So cos square theta plus sin square theta will be is equal to 1. So a square will be is equal to ax square plus ay square. And if you want to find out the a, so you can rewrite that one as ax square plus ay square is equal to a square. So a will be is equal to root of ax square plus ay square. Ay square. Okay. Likewise, the another one, that ax is equal to a cos theta and ay is equal to a sin theta. Equation number 1 and equation number 2. Actually you have to write this one in your notebook. It is not included in this PPT, so just write these things along with the video lecture. Otherwise you can copy this from the textbook itself. Okay. Now we have to do the 2 by 1. So that is a sin theta divided by a cos theta. A cos theta. A will cancel, and sin theta by cos theta will be is equal to tan theta. So a y by a x, a y by a x is equal to tan theta. Actually, in the last example which we have discussed, these equations are used there. Okay, the resultant velocity of rain r is equal to root of v x v w square plus v a square, v r square plus v w square, and tan theta value is equal to a by ax, so theta will be is equal to tan inverse of ay by ax. These things are important. Just to remember these things and write these things in your notebook also. The remaining portion of this section we will discuss in the coming sections or in the coming class. I hope these much things are very clear to you. If you are having any doubts, feel free to ask me. Okay, so wish you have a nice day. Thank you.